Welcome to Empire Building. I'm Wendy Papazan, and together with my 4 co-hosts, we bring you weekly unfiltered conversations about leadership, growing a big empire, and living on your own terms.
I'm Kimber Levitt-Keaty. We are investors and wealth builders with over $75 million in combined net worth.
I'm Sarah Reynolds. We are visionaries who built more than 50 businesses with over $122 million in annual revenue.
I'm Tiffany Fikes. We've led thousands of people and do it all while being pretty good moms.
And I'm Seychelle Van Poole. We are your podcast to learn how to build big businesses and even bigger lives.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to a new week to build your empire. And of course, not forget that big life. That's what a new week has for us today. And what I'm so excited about for today is we have 4 empire building co-hosts in the studio today. And it's been a while since the 4 of us have recorded an episode together.
Yes.
It's been a long while.
Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hi, ladies.
So we've got Wendy, Kimber, and Tiffany, and I'm Sarah. And we are so excited to talk about something that can change the game in your real estate business and in your real estate empire this week, if you apply it this week. So today, we are going to talk about something that I fell into by accident. So as many of you know, or maybe you don't know, I lead Empower Home, and Empower Home is a real estate team, and we serve buyers and sellers across 10 locations. And as of this morning, Empower Home has 432 active listings. So 432 active listings, 380 coming soon.
Is that the most you've ever had?
We have hovered around that number all year. We've been above 400 all year. Okay. Last year, we were in the 300s. But yeah, it's a lot of listings. That's a lot of sellers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of sellers.
What I love about it, though, is it makes you innovate because you're like, oh my gosh, how do I do whatever I'm doing with 400 instead of 4? And so I love it.
Yeah. I take everyone so seriously, right? You got 432 sellers. That means that each human, each family's life has trusted my team to help them reach their real estate goals. And although it sounds like a big number, they're each individual families that have trusted us. So I woke up one day and we had over 400 listings. I knew that we needed to get them moving. And as many of us that are listening and all of us that are co-hosts, we run real estate businesses. And in the real estate industry, we have been dealing with a recession. I don't know, for how long now have we been in a real estate recession?
A little over 2 years.
Yeah, it's been about 4 for us.
Okay. So 4 years, over 2 years in Nashville.
Over 2, yeah.
Yeah, DC has been over 2 years for Kimber and I.
Yeah, and even more so recently, right? Just in this last year, It's felt even more intense for sure.
Yeah.
It's coming for you guys.
Yes.
It's here. We were usually well insulated, and here it is.
Yeah, it's coming for you.
Yes. So we want to live up to our promises to our sellers of helping them accomplish their goals, and our listings were just stalling. The market had stalled. Everything had slowed down. You know, a couple years ago, we were getting multiple offers on our listings and literally having to coach my agents on how to navigate when you get multiple offers. And then all of a sudden, it's showing stop. And we've done multiple episodes over the last couple of years on how you price and how you navigate that. And just as Tiffany said, when you have over 400 listings, it makes you think, well, there's got to be a better way to do this. And so we started doing what we call an online Brokers Open, and we've been doing them now every single month for about 9 months now. And it's taking the concept of a Brokers Open, which Tiffany is going to explain that, but taking it to online. And what we do now is once a month, we come together as a team for our team meeting, and we go into breakout rooms. And our director of sales operations that week puts 10 to 15 listings on a tab on a Google sheet. So it's like a master Google sheet. So any office could do this. You could come together with other listing agents. You don't even have to be on the same team. Okay. You put 10 to 15 listings on one tab, and then 10 to 15 listings on the second tab, 10 to 15 listings on the third tab. And then you go into breakout rooms with 9 to 10 agents in each breakout room. And then you go through each listing, well, we're going to go into more details of all of this, but you go through each listing and we're going to tell you all of this. I'm giving you too much information. Okay. Why am I giving it all away right in the beginning, guys? Like, I can see you wanting me to stop.
So let me jump in.
Yeah.
Let me jump in and say, okay, let's talk about one of the things about a broker open is it's something you can do. You've heard us talk about when you have listings that are not selling and not staying on the market, like you need to be doing things every week, helping move your seller towards the move they want to make. And broker opens are a big part of that. And so let me give you a quick, like, what is a broker open? It is exposing your property and inviting other agents, not the public, but other real estate professionals to see your property, to get feedback, and to just let them see the property. So that's what Sarah means when she says broker open. So that's what a broker open is. And Sarah had to learn to scale them.
Yeah. Well, and I can remember, so I started in 2009, and this was something that was regularly done, probably had been regularly done since, I don't even know, since 50s, 60s,
Forever.
70s.
Before there was a MLS book.
Yeah.
Yeah. And within probably 5 years, our office kind of scaled that down. And I would say probably by, 15, something like that, our office just really wasn't doing them anymore at all. And so what it looked like in the old days is we would get a list of all the properties that needed feedback. People would pile into cars together in our office, and we would drive caravan style around to each listing. There would be an agent there. They would hand out a little worksheet and ask the agent to fill out feedback as you were walking through. And you could give feedback on the price, the condition, curb appeal, any smells, anything like that. And then the idea is that empowers the agent to go back to their seller and say, hey, I had 15 experienced agents walk through the house and I've summarized the feedback and here it is. And I think we should do that.
Yeah, it makes it not one voice.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Especially if you've lost a little bit of trust with your seller. Sometimes when you have had a listing for a while, they start to maybe distrust you and they don't think that they're giving you good advice. So it's third-party endorsement. It's like going to Google or something for a review and somebody else is saying how good this person is. And it's exactly like that, except it's for feedback.
Love that. Now, why would offices stop something that is valuable? Because that is so powerful and valuable to the seller. I know why I stopped doing it. Like, it was just really hard to get experienced agents to show up to any listing. Like, if I wasn't calling in a personal favor, like, Sarah, please come and look at my listing. You owe me. Like, that's the only way I could get anyone to show up.
Or like, right, you had to like spend thousands of dollars and create like a VIP party that
with
every
champagne
time,
and
like you had to like,
and
like that
a
would
band, an
it was
upcoming
like,
Austin band.
Yeah, pulling their arm, or like you had to spend so much money to get anyone to show up. It was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why to do them still is valid, but the problem and the struggle is you're not getting the right agents' feedback on the property. You're usually just getting people who are brand new to the business and need to come look at houses when you do it the traditional way. And I think that's why we've all stopped. And I love that Sarah innovated this idea into something that is easy for agents to say yes to. You don't have to be on a big team to do it. And you can get the benefits of a broker open. So, Kimber and Sarah, tell us how to do it.
All right, so Sarah gave us a good way to start this. So you've got a Zoom call. First, you're going to identify whether this is in your office, whether you're a team, even in an area, right? So if you're in a geographic area, maybe I know for us, I do a lot in Washington, D.C. There were a couple neighborhoods that had a lot of inventory on the market. You could literally call those agents and be like, hey, let's all jump on together and do this as a collaborative broker open. And so you're going to host a Zoom call, get 10 to 20 listing agents. You want experienced agents, and ideally those that have experience, right, selling in the specific area. And each agent is going to show their listing on the screen though they were a buyer, right? Like where would they see it? Pick your favorite place to search online or where you think your buyers are searching online, and what's the view that they're going to see when that listing pops up. So that's going to be the first thing. Schedule time, identify specific. You heard Tiffany say, do not pick brand new agents. Pick people that are experienced and ideally who are going to bring their listing. So you're actually sharing time. You're going to trade time. I'm going to give you feedback and you're going to give me feedback.
Well, and I don't know if it's the same in your market, but I'm finding more and more it's really the top 20% that they've always had the majority of the listings, but it's really true now. If I look through any neighborhood, I know almost all the agents because they have experience. So they're all in the same boat as you. They all have a lot of listings that are sitting there, and they're going to love this idea.
Yes, I love it. I think that that's exactly it, that you're actually providing a solution, not just for you, but for them too, because they're going to come on and be able to give feedback and get feedback that they can go back to their sellers with.
The other thing too, you don't also leave out the top buyers agents, because what the key here is that you want to be the room wants to put themselves in the shoes of a buyer. So if you've got some top buyers agents as well, which would be part of the top 20% typically of the market as well, invite them, because you want to think like, who are the people that know how buyers are thinking right now? Who are the ones having those conversations, right? It's the listing agents, it's the buyer's agents, it's anyone that can truly put themselves in the shoes of a buyer. Some of the best advice that we've gotten have actually been from agents that also just bought their own houses because they know what it's like, searching, right?
Well, and it's usually the buyers that see the shift and the change in the market first. And then the buyer's agents are the second ones that see the shift. And then it's the listing agents. And the very last person who understands all that is the seller. So in essence, you're trying to connect the person who's the closest to the inventory to the person who's the farthest away, which is actually going to be the seller.
Yes. So beautifully said. That's awesome. So you get on. So you can do it a variety of ways, as Kimber said. You don't have to have a huge team like Empower Home, right? You can do it multiple ways. You be the spearhead though. I think hear what Kimber said, you spearhead it because it makes such a difference. So what you do is you jump on the call and each listing agent takes a turn sharing their listing. And the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go to Google, because you're going to pretend like you're the buyer. Okay. So I'm searching for houses in this range, or I'm searching this address and I want to see if I want to go look at it. I know I want to be in that neighborhood. I just saw a for sale sign come up. I'm going to go Google the address. Okay. And then based on whatever site comes up first with that address. So a lot of times right now, that's going to be Zillow or Realtor.com, right? You're sharing your screen as the listing agent. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look at the first thing buyers look at, which is what?
The photos.
Well, yes,
yeah.
the photos. Photos. Yeah. Okay. So they're looking at photos. Photos is what stops the scroll. Price gets you in the list to be scrolled on. Okay. So the strategy of price is critical, obviously. But the first thing is you want to stop the scroll. You want to stop the buyer from scrolling to the next house.
Yeah.
And so the photos, the first 5 photos in particular, you have 4 seconds to get them to stop. Okay. And so if the first 5 photos wouldn't cause the buyer to stop the scroll, then the rest of the people on the Zoom, the rest of the agents on the Zoom are going to say, why would you be featuring the ugly back of that house as the second photo? Right? I don't think that would stop the buyer from scrolling.
Nobody likes an ugly back.
Yes. Correct. You heard it here first.
Yes.
Okay. Quote Wendy. Okay. No one likes an ugly back. Okay. So the first thing you do is you're getting feedback from the room on the photos only. Okay. So the photos only. And then as the listing agent, you're making notes. Okay. I need to delete this photo. It's not helping our case. I need to put that at the end or whatever. You're getting notes. Okay. Then the second thing you do is you go over, if you do stop the scroll, buyers typically then want to read about the house. So they see that they like it. The photos got them to stop. They looked at the first 5. Then they want to read about it. So then you go to the remarks. And our rule during our online Brokers Open is that when we're reading the remarks and when we're listening to the remarks, we're looking for, are the remarks causing an emotion that would want the buyer to come look at the house?
So are you, as the person who's leading this, are you reading the remarks to
Yep.
people or okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And then you should say like, okay, would that cause you guys an emotion to come to the house? So like if the remarks start with like new HVAC system, new roof.
Depends on the buyer.
Only a high C is going
Yes.
to be super excited about that.
It does not cause an emotion. It just causes a like, okay.
Also in Texas, that is pretty sexy.
A new HVAC does create a lot of relief in Texas. Yeah.
Okay. I have never met a buyer that is expecting the HVAC not to be working. So like to me, if it's an expectation of a buyer to have an HVAC or a roof, my rule is not to lead with it in the remarks, because it's like no buyer's gonna be like, wow, that house has a roof that doesn't leak. Let's go look at it. And so like you want to think like, okay, what are the things that are differentiating factors about the home that also can create an emotion, right? Like private tree-lined street. Like you see an image, you have a feeling. Like, right? Like that's an example of like, so you're asking the Zoom room, okay, are these remarks good? What, like, would this cause you to want to come see it? Right? So picture stop the scroll.
Well, I think another question to ask would be, do the remarks attract the kind of avatar for the person you think would buy that house? That might be another good
That's a
question,
great
because I think
question.
sometimes, especially so many people are using ChatGPT now, the remarks become extremely generic.
Yes.
And they're kind of like AI slop. And
Yeah.
nothing wrong with using AI, but you should train your AI to be a better writer, or use Claude, which is a better writer, and then have a human read through it, knowing what you know about the house, and make sure that it matches up. Because I know when we list a house, we're always thinking like, okay, these are the people that we think would buy the house, and the remarks want to match up with that.
Yeah, such good advice. So good. Right. Picture stop the scroll. Remarks cause an emotion to get them to want to come look at it, is the way that I like explain it. So you want to check both of those things and get the feedback. And every single time you're going to get feedback. Like one agent's going to say like, I would actually like that house, because they know it too, right? Like that house, right, backs to trees, and no other house on that street backs to trees. Like that needs to be highlighted more, right? So like you're getting feedback from the agents, and then you're taking notes of adjustments. So then you move to actually sharing the details. Like this is how many showings we've gotten. This has been the feedback. Okay. Because that then tells you whether or not we're priced right? If we're getting showings, and then based on the feedback, which should be offers, right? And if it's not offers, then that means that we have a pricing issue.
I always say whatever feedback that you're getting, you should just add for the price at the end of it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like, I thought the kitchen was too small
For that price.
for the price.
Yes.
Yeah, for the price.
And I think this idea of showings, like when you're talking about number of showings, there's like number of showings of people that walked in the door. And then what are your analytics on views of the property online? Because today, everything that you're saying, right, Sarah, those are showings. They have seen that property online. And so if it has X amount of views, it's getting tons of views, and nobody's coming in the door, that's also a form of feedback.
Yeah.
So these are people that actually booked and came in, and these are people that looked at online and opted not to.
And your local MLS through Showing Time or whatever you're using should be tracking the average number of showings in your market. And so we've been tracking that since 2021. And in January of 2021, the average number of showings for a house in Austin was 17 a month. And now it's 3
A month?
a month.
Wow.
Yeah. So if we get 4 showings in a month, that is great news. You know what I mean? So you also kind of need to know that data, right? You need to understand where the baseline is for your market, because we're just so slow now. If we get 1 or 2 showings a weekend, it's a great weekend for us.
So you share the showing activity and the feedback, and then you ask for feedback on the price. So you've gotten now feedback on photos. You've now gotten feedback on the remarks. You've gotten feedback on like many times, like, hey, if you get them to like upgrade the carpet because they saw that in the photos or it showed up in the feedback, that's going to help. But then the main thing that you're wanting is you're wanting at least 10 other agents to tell you that there needs to be a price adjustment. And that's then what you can then give back to the seller, okay? Because it's not your opinion. And that's the whole idea, right, of the traditional brokers open, is to get the opinion of others, as Tiffany shared. And so like you now can get the opinion and legitimately say to your sellers, I've had 10 of the top agents, local agents, review the listing. We're making some marketing adjustments. But as I shared with you, 90% of marketing is price. And based on their experience, our recommendation is this price, right? And so you're getting all of that feedback, and then you move on to the next listing agent. And then the listing agent shares their listing, and you do the same thing. And then before you know it, you look up and 432 listings have been reviewed that day. And and your listing management and marketing team loves you. And before you know it, the next week you have your largest contract week of the year because you got a lot of families under contract because you took action.
I love that. Can I ask you a question, Sarah?
Yeah.
So how are you creating this group? Are you just posting it in your office Facebook group, or how are you getting this group together, and what does that look like? Or are you reaching out to specific agents? Or if you could walk us through that, I think that'd be helpful.
Yeah, so I'll tell you how we do it at Empower Home, but our listeners most likely will need to make some adjustments. So we do it based on our agent growth coaches squads. So we have 20 agent growth coaches, and they lead between 5 to 9 agents, and they lead the rooms, and their squad is who is reviewing the listing. And we always have multiple leaders in the rooms as well. Like I'm in a room, I hop around from one room to the other, and I love it because I love giving feedback on helping them. And but if I had a smaller team, I would partner up with 2 or 3 other teams in my office, and I would do it together once a month. Kimber's idea of like calling other listing agents in the neighborhood, like that's brilliant. My competition strength might not love that one as much just because like I don't want them to make all the adjustments. Like I want my listing to win with all the adjustments first. But it's a great idea.
But from a like recruiting attraction standpoint, it can play double duty for that because these agents are like, I would never have done this if I hadn't, done this with Sarah. I don't want to do this all the time. So that's where my mind goes. I'm like, oh, I want to do it with those people who don't know what they're doing so that they want to come join us.
So smart.
If you're with Keller Williams, you could do it like with your ALC, your Agent Leadership Council or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like a no-brainer to do that because often the top agents in your market don't always work in the same areas that you do.
I mean, if I were running an office, a real estate office, I would do this once a month as my team meeting.
Yeah.
Like I would do with all of the listings in the office. Because I mean, if we can knock out 400 in one team meeting, then I think other offices can figure that out as well. And so there's multiple ways to do it. Just like I would use your, we gave you 4 options right now of like different ways to put it together. And your first one, you might only have a few show up, and you're better off than you were yesterday when you only had yourself reviewing it, right? And so this is really collaboration and using the power of other people's brains and what they know to help your seller accomplish their goal.
Yeah. So it's not about ego,
Yep.
right? It's about your seller. It's about your seller's family. And it's about getting the home sold. Sellers don't always listen to you. Like I said at the beginning, sometimes the trust gets lost, but when there is 10 agents giving feedback, it's really powerful. It reinstates the trust. Also, for those of you that are listening that might be a newer agent, this might make you just feel a lot more comfortable and confident in some of the decisions that you've made, and to hear from other agents about the struggles that they're having. And ultimately, if you've got 10 people on a Zoom telling you to lower the price, it's going to give you the confidence you need to go back to that seller and say, listen, it is time. So yeah, I love this idea of yours, Sarah.
Well, and the key, which I mentioned at the beginning, is like this is one of the things in your arsenal to talk to your seller about. It shows your value and it helps them make the right decision to get them where they want to go. So how you talk to them about this is just as important as how you are gathering the feedback and all of those things. So like your house was selected to be featured in an exclusive online broker this week, and I would lead up to it. Hey, next week, your house has been selected to be featured in this online, exclusive online broker open. So next week, when I send this email, I'm going to have feedback from the top agents in the city on your listing. And then the next week, I'm going to say, hey, this was the week you were featured in our broker open, and here's what the top agents gave us as feedback. And we're going to be updating the marketing, but here's what else we heard that we want to make sure we're working on together with you. And that's just so powerful. You get to talk about it for like 3 weeks that you did this thing.
That's so smart.
Okay, well, if you're sitting on your listings and you're just like me and you don't know what to do, okay, this is the perfect solution. Okay, don't wait. Have your homework after this call be to implement your first Brokers Open. You don't have to don't wait till you have like too many listings. Okay, even if you have a few listings, get other agents involved, right? And rally the team, re-engage your sellers. They get so excited when our sellers hear that we did this. They get so excited. They feel like that their house was special because of the wording that Tiffany shared. And honestly, innovation comes from when we have pressure, right? That's where diamonds shine the brightest. And right now, this market is simple. It is not easy. It's simple. It's not easy. And you have the opportunity to become one of the top listing agents in the country for the rest of your career by doubling down on this market and learning these skills. And the Online Brokers Open is an awesome opportunity for you to do that. So thank you for joining us today. Get out there and build a big business and have an even bigger life. And if you got a lot out of today, tag one of us on social media, give us that 5-star review, and share it with a friend. Bye, guys.
Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is for general informational purposes only. The views, thoughts, and opinions of the guest represent those of the guest and not Keller Williams Realty LLC and its affiliates, and should not be construed as financial, economic, legal, tax, or other advice. This podcast is provided without any warranty or guarantee of its accuracy, completeness, timeliness, or results from using the information.